There was a certain darkness to the forest, even during the day. Even the tiny rays of light that made it through the slits in the canopy were dim and discoloured, distorted by the twisting journey through the leaves. As Davis crouched in the underbrush, he scanned his surroundings, squinting through the darkness. If they found him here, he was done for. There was a sharp snap from somewhere behind him, and Davis had to clench his fists to stop himself from whirling around. He needed to be aware of his surroundings, but if he turned too fast, he was certain to make a noise, and that could be the last mistake he ever makes. He overruled his instinct and held himself still, only turning to investigate when he felt certain he could do it. Slowly and with precision. When he faced the source of the sound, there was nothing. And he told himself that it was probably just a wild animal. His racing heart didn't believe him, but he didn't think he could deal with the alternative. Somewhere in the distance, a wolf howled, and Davis adjusted his position. His legs ached from crouching in position for so long, but he wouldn't allow himself to let his guard down. The cold was beginning to seep into his bones, and he trembled. Just a few hours more, and he could be sure he had lost them. Just a few hours more, and he would be safe. He didn't make it those few hours. First, his fingers grew numb from the cold. Then the muscles of his legs seized up, locking him into position. He tried his best to keep himself alert, but with each sound from the unknown, he became just a little bit less sensitive. A branch snapped behind him. It didn't seem worth the effort to turn around. Not after so many false alarms. when the leaves rustled. He told himself it was just the wind. And then he allowed his eyelids to droop. And when a knife appeared at his throat, he hardly reacted at all. "There you are, Davis," came a low, suspicious voice. "You thought you could hide." Davis's breath shook. His eyes were wide, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't remember his action plan. He couldn't move, couldn't think. He couldn't do anything but stare at the knife under his throat and listen to the voice that held it there. "This is going to hurt," the voice hissed, dragging the knife slowly across the tender skin of David's neck. "It is going to hurt like hell. And then I'm going to send you there." Davis's breath caught in his throat, and he leapt forward. His instincts finally kicked in. The knife against his neck scraped him at an angle, leaving a shallow scratch from his chin to his chest. He sprung outwards and forwards to escape from the underbrush, and when he found his footing, he stumbled forward. His legs were too sore and unstable for a real run, but he forced himself away from the threat. He made it about 30 feet before he felt it. A pressure on his back, and then a shooting pain through his chest. He stopped in his tracks, eyes drifting downwards. A spot of red grew large on his chest, blood spreading outwards on the skin around his heart. His hands rose to the wound, and he garbled as he tried to breathe through the blood. "That's right," said a familiar voice, placing a hand on each of his shoulders and leaning him backwards. "You're mine." And then everything went dark.